Didn't even get to bronze.
What is going on YouTube? It is UNG and we're back with some more Destiny. And in this video I'm going to be talking about the best methods to farm or gain Engrams. Not really farming technically, but the best way to get Engrams, legendary Engrams, any type of Engrams. So there's farming and strike missions, probably the most common ways to get Engrams. And a lot of people still farm, but since they made the patch, which most of you should, or unless you're living under a cave, they fixed. So if you do the highest playlist, you get a Cryptarch Engram, which gives you either 2 blues or 2 blues in legendary. I'm not exactly sure of that, but I know it's gonna give you 2 blues for sure. And so it takes about 20 minutes, 15 to 30 minutes to complete a strike, and that's pretty good. That's if you have a decent team. But if you're like a level 22, it could take a little longer. About the 30 minutes is probably the max time. So that's 30 minutes. That's guaranteed 2 blues every 30 minutes, and that's okay. Depends. I usually complete in about 15 minutes, I would say. So 15, and sometimes you even get a blue drop during it, so you get 3 blues, and sometimes you get a legendary. But this is the first time I got a legendary by doing a strike mission. I did 6 strike missions earlier in the morning, and I did 7th, which is this one, and I actually got a legendary Engram, fortunately. But it turned to something that I can't use a warlock, so I just dismantled it. Warlock arm, I think that's what it was. I just dismantled it for some shards, which is always a good thing, because you need those shards for those legendaries and exotic pieces of armor to upgrade. But the bad side of getting blues, if you do it, the bad side of doing strikes, it could take a little longer than expected, and that's not that good, because it depends though. I would recommend doing it with a strike team or fire team. I think that's what it's called. Strike team or fire team. I'm gonna get yelled at in the comments, but I'm pretty sure it's called a fire team. Yeah, fire team. That makes sense. And you do it with a good fire team, you guys can probably complete about 10 to 15 minutes, and you get 2 blues guaranteed. Now we're gonna talk about farming. So there's many ways to farm, like loot caves, I guess. There's about 4 that I know, 4 or 5 ways you can do, but there's like 2 different locations. 2 to 3 different locations. Three locations that I know of. That you guys probably know some other ones. You can also do chest farms, but that's really not really preferred by most people. So you're gonna be doing farming. I average about 6 to 8 blues an hour, and strike mission I average about 8 blues, 8 to 10 blues an hour. 6 to 8 blues versus 8 to 10 blues an hour. It's a pretty big difference, but farming can also, it's not consistent. You can also get really lucky and really unlucky by getting like 1 blue every like 15-20 minutes. So that's what's kind of bad about farming, but I still prefer it over strike missions. You get a legendary about every, depends how lucky you are. That's the only thing bad about farming, is it's very, very, very unpredictable. And so when I farm, I usually get about 1 to 2 legendaries every hour, but sometimes I get really lucky, get 2 legendaries every 10 minutes. Or in a 10-minute period, not every 10 minutes, but in a 10-minute period. I also got 3 legendaries in a 10-minute period, maybe even 5-minute period of doing the original loot cave, which unfortunately got patched. But you know, everything happens for a reason, and we got more farming methods for you. And this one I made a video on, ever gets patched, I will definitely bring you guys a new one. But so you're getting 6 to 8 blues by farming, but you have a higher chance of getting a legendary. Since you're doing this, say if we're doing this for an hour, so you complete 4 strike missions in an hour, get 8 to 10 blues. You can do this by 6 to 8 blues, but sometimes you're not going to get the 6 to 8 blues, because sometimes you get a piece of armor, which kind of sucks, and sometimes it takes a little longer. So we'll say about 7 or 8 blues an hour of doing a strike mission, because some of them take a really long time. Like this one took about 20 minutes because I had a crap team, but that's besides the point. But doing farming, you get about 6 to 8 blues, and you have a higher chance of getting legendaries, because the drop rate is different, and the strike missions can do whatever they want. I think it's 1 out of 1,000. I don't know exactly the numbers, but you're not really going to get legendaries every time. It takes 20 minutes, and then out of that 20 minutes, you're going to be disappointed. You're going to have to do another strike mission. By farming, just very unpredictable, very unpredictable. I think that's the proper grammar or grammatical term. But I prefer farming over strike missions, just because you always have a higher chance of getting legendaries. Like I said, 20 minutes you're going to be disappointed not to get a legendary, but in that 20 minutes of farming you could have got a legendary. And it doesn't really matter, because it doesn't take a long time. You can get really lucky and get it at the first 2 minutes, or get really unlucky and get it get it in 40 minutes in. So that's really good. So that's why farming is a little better, just because of the luck. If you have good luck, I would hop on farming, but if you have bad luck, just do strike missions. But I prefer farming, even if you have bad luck. I have bad luck, and I sometimes even get lucky. This game is very unpredictable, which makes the game great. So that's pretty much it for the video. Farming is probably the way to go. But if you feel like that's cheating, which it isn't cheating because it's MMO, hint hint, nudge nudge. But then you can do strike missions. There's many ways. I recommend actually farming. Then once you get bored, do a strike mission or do some other farming methods. That's exactly what I do. I do about 2 strike missions and then I do some farming or vice versa. But thanks for watching. That's pretty much it for this video. So thanks for watching. I did that a little bit off, but that's okay. So please remember to rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.